Listening to Home Business Profits with Ray Higdon, where Ray shares tips and strategies for how to become a top earner in your company. Let's get into the episode.
We have Inner Circle client Roberta Collins. Roberta, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, awesome. Well, welcome. Excited to work with you and see how we can help you. So tell me a little bit, where are you at? Where are you at right now?
Right now, I want to build a team.
Okay.
I have a team, but I want to grow my team, I should say.
Okay.
But every time I recruit someone, I step back and I don't do anything for months. I can recruit them in and then I don't. I just stop. And I want to do it again, but I don't until some later time, and then I'll do it again. So I don't.
Is there anything that triggers you doing it again? Like, so you recruit someone, you hide out, and then is there anything that that triggers you to do it again? Or is that just randomly, or what do you think?
I think if they approach me or if they say something to me, then I have the green light. If they say something first.
Do you mean the person you recruited or a prospect?
The prospect.
So just some other random prospect, if they say something to you, you'll recruit them.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If you had someone asking you every single day, if you had a different person asking you every single day, would you just recruit them all, or what would happen?
I probably would recruit them all.
Okay. So sounds like maybe how you've gotten your recruits so far is you reached out to them?
I have reached out to them, yes.
So you reach out to them, you get someone to say yes, then you stop reaching out.
Yes.
Okay. So I can tell you that, what I've found is people that struggle with consistency, it's almost always because they draw the wrong conclusion to success. And so there's something about success that they are worried will harm them. And there's a lot of different reasons that I've seen over the years. So do you have this pattern only in network marketing, or do you have it in other things?
No, just my business.
Okay.
Network marketing.
And do you have a job right now or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how do you do there? You feel pretty good about that?
Yes.
Okay.
I create online courses.
Okay. So you work for someone that creates online courses, or you create your own?
I create online courses for my company, for my employer.
For your employer. Okay. So you're not really doing the selling, you're creating, they go and sell it.
Right.
Okay.
But just to give you another side of it, I used to be successful in another business over 20 years ago. And when I moved to Florida, my then husband was he didn't care that I was successful. He just was on me all the time until I just quit. I walked away.
So you walked away from the business. Did you walk away from the husband?
No, just the business.
Okay. So this probably, at least in my experience, it usually stems from something that happened earlier. But if we just take what you just said, if you draw the conclusion that if I create success, I'm just going to have to walk away anyway, the natural conclusion is, why bother? You see what I mean? So how do I, if you create this, if I reach this right here, then there's going to be problems. So let's just not reach this right here. And the way to not reach this right here is just don't be consistent. You'll never reach that. How does that sound?
Sounds similar to me.
Yeah. I mean, usually this comes from something that you observed earlier, right? So what's really common is if you saw a parent or a grandparent, uncle, if you saw a family member succeed and then lose it all, that stays with us. And the way for you not to lose it all is just don't gain it all. That's the only guarantee, because there is no guarantee as you win that won't come out from under you. So the only way to guarantee not lose big is just don't win big. Then there's nothing to really lose. Did you see any family members or people close to you that succeeded and then lost it when you were younger?
Not that I can really recall, but when I thought about it today, this morning, when I was thinking about it, I was talking to my mom, and she died while I was talking to her. And then my aunt said, oh, that I never was going to be anything. I never was going to do anything or be anybody because I would just have babies.
That's what your aunt said to you? Is she the one that started taking care of you after your mom?
No, my dad took care of me, and then he remarried shortly afterwards. I had a stepmom who had 2 daughters, but they would get everything, and I would get the hand-me-downs, I didn't get to go places. Only they got to go places and do things. And I tried to tell my dad, and he said he didn't believe me. So I just kept quiet about it. So we were doing good. Everything was going good. Even though I wasn't being treated right, I was doing good. My dad had a great job. He was doing all he could for this new wife. And I just saw it as they had everything and I didn't have anything.
And did you try hard as a kid to try to show them that you were good?
Yes, I started work when I was 13. I just worked like whatever I can do. I went to school, went to college. I did everything that I could to show them that I am going to be somebody, but I always felt that I was lacking somewhere. And so my husband, who you said, did I walk away from? I eventually walked away from him. Well, actually, he walked away from me. And so I just always feel like I'm always in the background trying to catch up, trying to, put my best foot forward. So, and if I don't recruit anybody, then I wouldn't have to pass that on to them.
Say that again.
If I recruit someone, I think about, I don't want to pass that on to them.
Pass what on to them?
That feeling of I'm never going to get anywhere. I don't want them to feel that they're not going to get anywhere.
Because that's how you were made to feel, and you're rebelling against that. So I'm sorry you went through that. You didn't deserve that. And that sucks. With your experiences, it's very easy to draw the conclusion of not just what you just said, which I'll come back to, but why bother? Hey, I tried like hell as a kid. I tried like hell as a young adult. I tried like hell here. And what did it get me? Why bother? And so there's a quote that I often go to. I just talked about it today, actually. I don't want to butcher it, so I'll bring it up. So Brene Brown. You either walk inside your story and own it, or you stand outside your story and hustle for your worthiness. So like you've been hustle for your worthiness, but then also it's like, well, why bother? Because it's not going to work out anyway. It never does. And so, and you all, and I can identify with, one thing that you said of, you never felt, you didn't say the word, but for me, it was, I never felt like a priority. And so like my whole life, I projected that onto every relationship I ever had, including Jess, up until just the last, I just realized this and learned this 6 months ago. So even up to 6 months ago, I was still projecting this. And the way that I handled it was, you know what, I'm not the priority, but that's okay. I'll work hard. I'll hold up my end of the bargain, but it's okay that I'm not the priority. And, the problem is you find what you seek. You find, if you're looking for that, you'll find proof every time, but it just doesn't serve you. It's like we're fighting for this contest to win this contest that is a terrible contest, right? Let me prove why it's not going to work out. Let me prove why I'm not the priority. And so you can live inside your story, and what that would look like is you being willing to share, what you went through. And that would actually bring hope to people. That would actually bring inspiration to people, and to a lot of people that don't believe they can succeed or don't believe that they can achieve, that it would actually inspire them. And so you can actually, and this is, I don't know, were you able to catch Rankmakers Live? Did you catch that at all?
Yes.
So Hank did a great job of talking about this, in that you speak to the person, you speak to you, right? What did you need to hear, right? Even in this moment, right? What did you need to hear? And you're thinking about that person that person that has hustled for their worthiness their whole life, only to never get satisfaction, to get, hey, that was worth it, to only draw the conclusion of why bother. And so you can speak to that person. You can think about that person as you build, your business. And so, I would just, I had a lot of things not work out. I mean, I went through a divorce. I was engaged, disengaged. I failed. Here's all the things I failed at. I failed at a dozen network marketing companies before I became the number one income earner of one. I failed at a title company. I failed in mortgage. I failed in real estate. I failed in advertising. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few, because I just blocked them out or something. But there's so many things that I failed at. And the reality is that doesn't have to be a life sentence. You not reaching the life that you really want and deserve, you can do that. It doesn't have to be a life sentence, that because we didn't get treated the way we should have been treated as a kid means we're doomed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so you can create a whole new future. You can embrace the concept that you can create anything that you want. And if you, with that awareness of, now I understand why maybe I've sabotaged, or maybe why I wasn't so consistent, with that awareness, you're now no longer on autopilot. And so I was coaching one of our inner circle coaches, not yours, but a different one. And so I made her aware that the reason she doesn't like recognition is because she draws negative associations because of her older sibling and younger sibling. She's a middle child. And so if you grow up as a child, whether you're the youngest, oldest, middle, whatever, and you getting attention creates pain for one of the siblings, then you're going to draw recognition equals pain. So you'll actually sabotage yourself. And she asked me a question. She said, well, how do I change this in my subconscious? And once you're aware of it, it's not just in your subconscious now, you're aware of it. So now you're aware, oh, this is why I've stopped being consistent. Does that make sense? First of all, are you aware now?
Yes.
Because before you're probably on autopilot. You're like, why? I just don't feel like doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't know why.
Right.
And that's where most people are. Most people have absolutely no idea why they're not consistent. So they buy another journal, they buy another course, they do something else, they get new refrigerator magnets, they write new affirmations. But if you're not aware of what the core reason is why you're not consistent, then you're just going to stay in that program, no matter how many trinkets and, crystals and, things that, whatever, it just doesn't matter. Once you get aware, now you have a choice. Now you can say, and you'll feel, you'll most likely, it's very likely, you'll still feel that muscle, right? You'll recruit somebody and then be like, you'll feel that muscle, but you'll know why. And you can make a different choice. Is that helpful?
Yes.
You feel like you can do it? You feel like you can recruit someone and stay on the horse?
Yes.
Because I just think if you look at the comments, I don't know if you can see them or not, but if you go back and look at the replay and look at the comments, there's a lot of people that are inspired by you, a lot of people that are, telling you that you didn't deserve that because you absolutely didn't. You said something of, I forget how you worded it, but a lot of times people that have been through a type of abuse, which that is a type of abuse, right? Some of us get the physical abuse, some of us get the psychological abuse, some of us get both. And a lot of people that go through abuse, I say me, right? You start to think that you're the one broken. You're the one that's messed up. You're not the one that's messed up. The people that parented you and gave you advice, they did the best they could with what they knew based on their experiences. And I've heard, horrible things, and again, it's based on what that person knew based on their experiences. They did the best they could. And there are some people out there that they only have experienced cruelty. They've only experienced, not lifting other people up, not caring. And so, just know that you're not broken. You didn't deserve it. Your story can inspire people. It has tonight. And the more that you stay consistent and start creating more results, the more people you will inspire. And then one day you'll look and be like, man, I remember the day when I thought I wasn't good enough. But now all these people I've helped, all these people that are thanking me on social media, that are thanking me from stage, that are, succeeding, it'll really feel good. And it's a long time coming.
I accept it.
So helpful? You feel good for it?
Yes, I do. I was listening to some things today and I was like, oh, wow. I mean, that was really kind of like a light bulb. And then, of course, I was like, should I go on here? Should I coach with Ray or not? Like, I almost changed my mind.
That's the identity. We have an addiction to our identity of how big we play, how we show up, how consistent we are, what we think of ourselves. And when we start to enter into a realm that challenges that identity, it is a struggle. You're fighting a bucking bronco. It wants to stay the same because it sees that if I stay the same, I'll be safe. At least I know this world. It's not the world I want. It's not, my potential, but at least I know it. I can't get hurt that bad. If I don't have any expectations, then you can't really hurt me much. And so, it wants to keep us safe. So it's very common for, us to sabotage that next move, or at least ponder sabotaging, which you didn't sabotage. You showed up tonight And this wouldn't, this just wouldn't have happened if you weren't ready for that, for the transformation. If you weren't ready to, like Joe Dispenza says, cross the stream and enter that new identity. And so I think you're going to inspire a lot of people with this. And I appreciate you playing big and being vulnerable on here.
Thank you for having me.
For sure. Well, we're rooting for you. And I know Forrest is too. That's your coach, right, Forrest?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. He's in the comments. He's rooting for you. He's probably crying right now. Wipe those tears, Forrest. Step it up. But we're rooting for you, Roberta. Really proud of you. And, make sure you go back and look at these comments, because there's a lot of people rooting for you, and we believe in you.
Thank you. I've never heard that before, that I'm proud of you.
No. We're proud of you. You're going to help a lot of people. You're going to help a lot of people that have had similar circumstances as you, right? They've heard similar things. They've been told that they wouldn't amount to anything either. I was told that too. So go out there and help them out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Roberta. Give Roberta some love. Isn't she amazing? So awesome. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You can find more great marketing, prospecting, and recruiting tips just like these over at rayhigdon.com. And remember to pick up your free copy of his 29 sources of network marketing leads. We'll see you over there.